as you know, at least a third, if not 40 to 45% of all software development activity is actually spent in what I call the verification and validation activities, which are unit integration, system tests, and of course forms of inspections of non-code deliverables. And so that's how the team would be put together. So in a team of 3, you'd probably expect 2 of them to be focused on the creation steps of requirements, design, and code implementation, and 1 of them to be focused on the steps of verifying that and preparing for delivery. Oh, I have a question here. Does Tiempo offer any SEO services? That's not a place that we've been spending most of our time, so I'd have to say not at this time. Oh, I'm seeing some additional writing on there. The question may be more specific. Let me respond to that one. Oh, but we do have partners that can provide those services for us, for you. But no, we of our own right don't support that to date. Oh, another question here. Describe the process we use to engage. Okay, now this is a front-end process. We have a number of engineering processes, a number of sales processes that we use to engage with a new customer. Obviously, we need to understand your need, and that can be done in one of basically 2 modes. Often, our customers provide us high-level requirements as a document, and we use that to build technical solutions, implement, and test a solution to support that. Another option is the customer does not provide requirements, and we work with the customer to capture and elicit those requirements ourselves. So the very front end of the process starts with acquiring requirements from one way or the other. We also have a kickoff mechanism where the customer is introduced to the team members of our team. Each and every one of them, the project manager, the senior technical contributors, the various developers and our testers, and management builds a communication infrastructure so you know who to call, how to get support at any time for any of the activities, and that activity goes on. You have obviously sales contacts even prior to that where we're eliciting numbers of developers you need, types of projects you're in. We feed that into our recruitment process. We recruit from the market deliberately for each engagement, and we gather requirements for your engineering skills and capabilities, and we go out to the market and hire those so that we're ready when the project starts. Oh, and another one. Do we have standalone testing services? Actually, we do. And we're quite able to engage. I have a model of the software development lifecycle, which clearly goes from cradle to grave requirements all the way through to system tests. And we can engage with a customer pre-requirement, post-requirement, pre-high-level design, post-design, or we can engage with the customer after they have developed their application and they want additional testing, be it load, performance. We're involved in automating testing for you. We have a number of services there. So absolutely, we can provide a engagement that starts at the test phase. Oh, gosh. I've got a question on the phone here from somebody. We have seen significant issues with quality of deliverables from India and China. How does Mexico development compare? Interesting. I don't precisely know what your experience had been in asking that question. I can talk about my experiences in delivering quality and services from both India and China, and in fact from sort of almost any of those 23 centers I talked about earlier over 16 countries, and then I'll contrast that with our Mexican experience. I think the issue here is if you are working with a competent and capable outsourcer wherever they are in the world, if you've done your due diligence, if you understand the development process, if you understand have acquired quality statistics from them, you should be able to get excellent work from anywhere. Now, if that breaks down in any way, then clearly you can be disappointed. My experience from Mexico, both with the center that we set up in Puebla when I worked for my previous company and the center that we now have in Mexico, is that the quality of the products we produce is equally as good. If the quality is not good, it generally stems from an inability to complete the engagement process that I talked about before. One of the things I'm very keen on is I'm not too concerned where we engage with the customer, where pre-requirement or they give us requirements, so we engage pre-design stages, but I really want to disengage with the customer after I've gone through my testing activities and I deliver a product to you. If we are forced, and this happens in our relationships with some customers in my experience in the past, if we're forced by circumstances not to be able to deliver the entire life cycle of technical work from our perspective, that can lead to quality and productivity problems, but that is really not following through on all the commitments. So I don't know if that's answering your question, but that seems to be the answer I would give right now to that problem. Okay, I have one more question here, or two questions. How do you recruit? And then a follow-on question: do your developers speak English? On the issue of how we recruit, we have a dedicated, specialized recruiting team in Hermosillo that are taking the needs of our customers as brought to us by our sales engagement process. They go out to the market. They solicit resumes. We go through a quite rigorous multi-step process for recruiting engineers, both HR, both technical, and sometimes managerial interviews with these folks, and we pride ourselves on being able to match the needs of our customers with the skills and capabilities of our employees. So that's what we do for recruitment. As I say, a dedicated team, some very good people, spending a lot of time constantly surveying the market, matching with our customers' needs, going through a rigorous interview process, and then bringing these guys on board. And then the second question is, do our developers speak English? And I think Eric mentioned this before. Absolutely they do, otherwise I wouldn't be able to understand a word they said. It's not quite true, but I'm sure I'll get better at that. But no, it's a requirement. English, or the world of software globally, is an English-speaking discipline, and we hire people who are able to speak English. We have quite high, good qualities of English-speaking capability. Not a problem. You'd enjoy talking to them. They're funny. They're engaged. They're concerned about your problem, and they're communicating with you in your language. With that, I think we're going to end our Q&A session, and I'm going to hand back for a final few words from Eric.
Well, Roger, again, thank you for your insight. I'd like to thank everyone for attending today. If you have any additional questions, you can contact us at marketing@tiempodevelopment.com, or you can contact Rick Stoddard, who is our Vice President of Sales, and his email address is rstoddard, rstoddard, @tiempodevelopment.com. By the way, you may be wondering, Tiempo just stands for time, and it's really important because it's all about time. We're actually trying to minimize the time to market, minimize the time for projects, and by using a nearshore business model, that's why we're all about time. So lastly, if you'd like to talk to us about doing development in Mexico, please contact us, and we're going to work with you to help you achieve your software development goals faster, cheaper, and more effectively. Thank you, and everyone have a great day and a great weekend. Bye-bye.